the 2021, I'm sorry, that's right. We're going to record. This is on YouTube. Thank you, Bella. We're the 2021 Board of Equalization and Review for Union County. We have been appointed by the county commissioners to hear any and all taxpayers with respect to their concerns or complaints regarding the evaluation of the property for tax purposes. Property owners appearing before the Board of Equalization Review have the right to a fair and equitable hearing. The Board of Equalization Review has been charged with ensuring that the proper legal principles have been applied in an evaluation dispute for tax purposes. Here's the format. The clerk calls the case and locates the property or explains the situation of its personal property. The appellant presents his or her case. The assessor's office offers their defense. Both parties will be given an opportunity to conclude their comments. All questions should be directed to the board or myself. We will rule on the case or table it and inform the taxpayers when it will be reopened. The taxpayer will be notified in writing of the board's decision. By statute, the burden of proof is on the taxpayer to demonstrate the assessment is erroneous. Please silence your cell phones, and the deliberation stage will end or start as soon as all of the hearings are heard. At that point, the county will leave, the assessors will leave, and the appellant will not be given a chance to any more comments after that. All right, first case.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Our first parcel number is 09307-039, and the property owners, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this, Jennifer and Maxim Karpov. Okay, thank you.
Just gonna locate the property real quick.
It was actually.
Yeah, I was gonna zoom out for them.
We're here for two properties. That's in the file.
Yes.
Should take the parcel later on.
The property is located in Bearskin Place off of Gold Mine Road in Monroe.
And it's two properties.
What's the other parcel number?
Right across the street from it. If you scroll down a little bit more, you can see both.
9307080. That parcel number?
09307, what was the last bit?
This one right here?
9307080.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, and I appreciate you giving us time to present the case because we do feel that whatever formula been used, especially this year, is not fair. I and my wife own a software company that does machine learning algorithms, so we did some number crunching, straightforward number crunching on the results that came back. The major premise we have not changed our property since last evaluation whatsoever. There's nothing addition that we added, nothing we changed in the property. Nevertheless, our percentage went up greater than anybody else compared to our neighborhood. So that's one point I want to make. And you can see this in spreadsheet where we are on the first one. 2020 it was $95.56 per square foot retail market price, and then it went to $149.79. If you calculate all the averages in our streets in Raccoon, average comes to $141.40, which is acceptable market price. We purchased another property across from us, which was assessed at $190 by your tax assessor. We purchased it for $180, adjusting for all the things, and that's the property across that you see, all the things that need to take place. Now, talking yesterday with Alan in the sales office, we found another discrepancy. Properties, if I can zoom out a little bit here. So the Raccoon Lane right here, the Raccoon Run, there are several houses in that Raccoon Run. They classify as a flooding zone. There's no flooding zone there whatsoever. Therefore, the tax break on their property now goes down and assessment goes down. There's no flood zone there. If I apply the map here, you will see that there's no flood zone. So if there's discrepancy like this, I think the fair value of our house should have been, like I calculate there, taking our square footage, dividing by average, it will fall into the averages that we always fell into with their formula. Now, talking to the assessor office, they could not give us solid numbers. Why? Nothing changed in our property from previous assessment. Why my property next door to mine hasn't changed, okay? Both properties, nothing changed. They have garage on the left and on the right. They updated windows, we live there, right? So we know our neighborhood. There are a bunch of stuff and updates, and that's wonderful, right? They didn't get assessed the same way I've been assessed and my wife been
Well,
assessed.
just pause. They have always been assessed higher than us until this year. Now they are being assessed at, and it's 9307038. It's in your documentation. Dave Snyder's the owner. He's always been 139.6, and we've been 137.6. Now he's 207, and we're 215. Nothing changed. Nothing at all changed. He didn't do anything to his property. We didn't do anything to ours. Consistently for over 8 years, his property has been assessed higher than ours. So this is what we don't understand. How did you come to this conclusion? And why are we being charged or not charged, assessed higher?
Let me ask you a question. What do you think your value of your home is?
So like I said, I gave some numbers, taking the averages, 203,609 would be the average we would fall under. 203,609, like I have that on at the bottom right there.
Should be on your documentation.
In the document that we're handing out. I mean,
Okay.
that will be consistent, we're not asking for much, but it will be consistent with evaluation of prior before that, okay? Working with computers, working with algorithms, I can see that whatever formula been used is penalizing, well, in a sense, it is penalizing us in terms of assessing us greater than our neighbor. And that's just not fair.
Okay.
We just ask for consistency, that's it.
I beg your pardon?
We just ask for consistency.
Okay. Ray, have any questions for the cop office?
You mentioned earlier that some of your neighbors, their tax value did not change at all. Is that what you said?
Not tax, assessed value. They were consistently with us, the tax value assessed,
Until this
Until
most
this
recent
year.
assessment.
and our assessed tax became higher and they became lower, and they haven't done anything to their property. We haven't done anything to, I mean, that's the crux of the argument.
Okay, thank you.
Dutch?
Yeah, I want to be clear. I mean, you mentioned 2 properties in the beginning versus 1.
Correct.
So the property you live in is 2322 Bearskin.
Correct,
right.
and we just closed on 2321, which is across the street. And
Okay.
you guys assessed it at 190, and we actually purchased it. It's in the documentation we provided for 180.
180, okay.
And there's a lot of stuff that we have to do to get that house up to speed. It's been neglected for 30 years.
And then this is y'all's LLC that purchased it.
Excuse me? Yes, that's our business.
Okay. And so it's going to be a rental property or?
No, we're,
We're still in discussion because of her parents live up north, so we're not quite sure if they kind of come over here.
they're
and
coming down in the
retire.
summer to see if it might be a place for them to live.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And then you mentioned the comparison of your neighbor, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of 2400 Bearskin in relation to 2322.
Correct.
I mean, the only thing I can see there that sticks out to me, and I'm not talking about the prior value, but the current value is your home's a little larger, you know.
But nothing's changed.
Yeah.
We've been there for over 8 years, and they've always assessed his, because he's got a 2-car
And the shed.
garage, detached garage with a huge workspace,
Mhm.
and he has a shed. He has more buildings combined than we do.
Right.
Right.
So his has always been assessed higher
Yeah, I'm just
until
looking
this.
at the square footage on your report
I
here.
understand.
Yeah, it's about what?
Yeah, they kind
But-
of relatively to square foot, yes.
Right.
It's,
Right.
we're trying to do the averages and make sense out of the average.
That's why we
The
took
numbers.
over a dozen different homes on our street into
Right.
consideration for the average.
Okay,
Yep.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Mike, you have anything? Well, thank you. We'll hear from the county now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
I provided a photo of the house. Hopefully everyone has that to take a look at. Just give you a little history. In 2018, all the appraisal staff visited this neighborhood. We remeasured every house in there, took new photos, made any corrections that needed to be corrected. So we were recently at this property along with all the other properties in there. The biggest change for this property, the appraisers that made the field visit changed the condition of it from average to good based on their exterior inspection. I did confirm with Mr. and Mrs. Karpov that there was a new roof added a couple years ago, all new windows, siding was repainted, so the whole exterior was refreshed. So based on that information, the appraisers in 2018 bumped the condition up to good. I did ask Mr. and Mrs. Karpov to provide some documentation or information to help me understand the condition. They maybe some interior photos, because we're not sure, we didn't get in the house, we're not sure about the condition of the interior. They did not want to provide that information to me. So I really had no information to go off of, no justification to lower the value. You have a compare report with the comps that I used from 2020. Currently have 215,700 on the property, and with the comps used, it came in just slightly above that at 218,500. And that the condition is the major factor there, and it's not a huge increase. It's about $8,900 in value for that from average to good, but that is the difference between their property and some of the other ones they're referencing.
Can I add to what he mentioned right now? Is it possible?
Hang on a minute, and I'll come back to you. Any questions for the county, Ray? Dutch?
When they mentioned the flood in there, is there a flood in the neighborhood?
We did speak about those two parcels that they mentioned, and there is no FEMA map layer on our map that we use. I'm not sure why there's a flood influence on those two properties. It's something that we'll have to look into, and if it needs to be corrected, it does, but
So if there is flood, it'll be corrected. There is no flood in that.
I did not see any flood on those two properties, and there were no notes to say why there was a flood influence on those, so I'm not sure why it's there, but it did not appear that it should be.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Ray, Mike.
The house that he referenced, it had the outside buildings and garage and this, that, and other. You're saying the only difference between these two is the grade of the property or grade of the house?
Well, all the properties that they had referenced were in average condition versus theirs of good condition, so yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, I couldn't hear you. Come, step up if you would.
So he mentioned that it was a couple of years ago we replaced the roof. It was 2014. I have all the documentation when we replaced the roof.
The
All
roof
of that was
and the windows
assessed.
and the paint was long before 2018.
Right, it was all assessed on the previous assessments. Now, neighbors to the left of the picture, 9307040, they had all of their siding replaced
And windows.
and all the windows replaced, if we're talking about nitty-gritty details, okay? So there's other people that did the improvements, nevertheless, the value didn't increase from, and they painted the same color so they didn't stand out, and you can look at their landscape. I mean, if you go into how things are looking good and not, they have the paradise, if you ask me, compared to my house. My house is simple, so if we look going by looks, my argument is, we all we all know the sales of the houses. If I put my house on the market next to my neighbors, they will sell for what market value would be, the fair market price, not what arbitrary person comes to my property and says, this is average and this is good. If that's the case, we need to bump out a bunch of other properties to good. That's the ultimate crux of it. Whatever formula has been used, whatever the flooding issues in that map is incorrect. It's like the whole neighborhood needs to be evaluated. And that's what I told the assessor yesterday on the phone, because if I'm being assessed that way, then there's other properties need to be assessed the same way. Otherwise, it's not fair.
The house with the two-car garage and the shed, their house is good too. They are very good stewards of their property. And they'd be offended if they said that it wasn't. So the three houses, ours in the middle and then the two on either side, they're all immaculate. We all take good care of our properties.
Right, and I'll close with this. On that spreadsheet we give, since we're talking about sizes and looks and stuff like that, 07075, Allen, on the Raccoon Run, 2310. It's a two-story house with a pool in the back.
In-ground paradise pool and waterfall and everything.
And he is $1,000 higher than my house, assessed according to the formula. That's the problem I have.
And he has more square footage. His yard is immaculate.
So they can talk about asking pictures and whatnot. All of this is irrelevant because whatever formula they're using is incorrectly assessing my property against everybody else. And that's what basically what I have the issue with. If they wrong with FEMA map overlay, what other aspects of what they've done is wrong? That's the bottom line, why we're pleading with you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Tab number 2 is now staff recommendations, so we're going to move on to hearing number 3. Tab number 3, parcel ID number 02061018, Mary Erickson.
Parcel's located on Sojourn Road off of Flint Church, which is off of Lansford, south of Gilboa and Marshville, if you got it.
Hi, thank you for hearing me
Good
this
morning.
morning. Good morning. I actually was surprised. I thought it was about $110,000, and it is worth more than that, but it's still not worth $218,000. I did comparisons with Realtor.com estimates it at 181, Zone Value estimates it at 176. When I look at the comps, they don't seem to relate, and I know you've made some adjustments for it, but my house is a rental property. It's a wood frame house. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. I have not done any remodeling in it since I bought it in 1998. And your comparisons are brick homes with 2 bathrooms, not 1 bathroom, fireplaces and garages. And my house doesn't have any of that. So that's why it doesn't seem to make sense that you would compare my home to a house that was $261,000, because there's so much more to it. If any of the comps would be closest, it would be the number 4 comp, which comes in at 177. But that also has 2 bathrooms. It was also renovated in 2008. It also has a fireplace and an attached garage. Again, the house that is next door to me, 2617 Sojourn Road, comes in at 177. Mine shouldn't even be that high because it doesn't have the amenities. It doesn't have a garage. It doesn't have another bathroom. It doesn't have a fireplace. So those were my concerns about it. One question I had was on the adjustments. When you adjusted for size on comp number 1, you added, because it was 100 square feet more, you added $13,000 to the comp. Yet, when it was 100 square feet less, when my house was 100 square feet less, you only took off $10,000. So that's inconsistent. Also, the land value, on comp number 1, you adjusted it for $18,000, which is about $6,000 an acre. Yet on comp number 2, you only added $9,000. So it seems that the adjustments are skewed to make my property more expensive, which it isn't. So those were my concerns. And again, 218 is high. I think 160 is about what it should be valued at. And I don't know that I could get 160 for it if I tried to sell it today.
You said 160?
160.
Is this your, and are you Miss Mary?
I am,
Okay,
yes.
just making
Uh-huh.
sure.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Mike, you got a question for Mary? Dutch?
On the comps you provided,
Mm-hmm.
is the acreage similar? I remember trying
On
to.
the comps, these are the comps that that the assessment provided.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that you provided.
The ones that I looked at, where are they? The land value, I don't know if it was similar or not. I didn't look at that, because for me, the land that I have, it doesn't perk. So I was lucky to get one house on it, I think. And it can't be farmed, so it's pretty valueless. So it doesn't matter whether I'm and I'm in a neighborhood with, everyone has 5 or 6 acres.
Okay, so
But-
all these are in the neighborhood of 5 to 6
Yeah,
acres?
yes,
I guess. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure yours wasn't 8 and theirs was 1 or something like that.
No. Actually, I can't say that. I don't know.
Okay,
Okay, all right, okay,
that's the only question I had.
all right.
Ray?
Yeah, you said it's a wood frame house,
It is a wood house, yeah.
and you have 1 bath
Mm-hmm.
and no garage.
No garage, vinyl flooring.
Okay, that's all I have, Randy.
Yeah.
This is a picture of it you've included, right? The 22,
Yeah, I have it on the comps.
2204 Sojourner Road. Right.
2205 Sojourner Road is my
That's it.
house.
2205, so that's it, right?
That's that house, yeah. That's a
Is
picture.
any of the land, is it wooded, any of it farmed or anything?
No, it's all wooded.
All wooded, okay,
Yeah, there's a yard that they mow. Again, it's a rental, so.
okay. Well, thank you. Let's hear from the county.
All right, thank you.
If I could, just to address a little bit of the math was brought up. The comp number 1, has a $13,000 difference, was not a 100 square foot difference, it was a 116 square foot difference and $112 a square foot. Comp number 3 that was brought up with a $10,000 difference was not 100 square feet as stated, it was 91 square feet at $112 a square foot. So the exact same rate was used.
Okay.
She applied this time.
Good morning.
Donnie? Good morning, Donnie.
The parcel is 7.804 acres. Pull it down. There are no influences of flood or utility right-of-way on this parcel, so it's uninfluenced. It is in a neighborhood of 5 to 6, 8, 10 acre lots. Its highest and best use is a 1 dwelling parcel. The homeowner mentioned that it's a 3-bed, 1-bath. We count bathrooms when we do surveys, but we don't attribute value to them because we can't know whether or not there are 3 or 4. Certainly, if there's a deficient number for the size of the house, we would take that into consideration, but not in this case. The houses that the homeowner mentioned, 2617 Sojourn Road, is a 982 square foot home. It's on 6.3 acres. It was built in 1980, and it does have a detached garage. The things that the homeowner's mentioning that her house does not have, we would adjust for. We're obviously not going to charge her for a fireplace she doesn't have or things in the yard that she does not have. So we would take that into consideration when the comps were run. She also mentioned in her appeal 2714 Sojourn Road, sold in 2019 for $62,000. That was a vacant land sale. The house was built in 2020 after January 1, so that was a vacant land sale. I've provided you a comparable sales report from the neighborhood with four sales. The estimate's 241. We have 218.6 on the house and feel that's a good number.
Okay, Ray, any questions for Donnie?
Yeah, I have one. I'm looking at this picture of her house. It's a wood structure.
Yes, sir.
On the outside.
Mm-hmm.
and you have it, the condition is average,
Right.
and the rest of them are comps or brick, I guess, right?
I would, yeah, they could be. I don't know that I looked at them that closely,
Just
but
general information, when you classify something as average, what's the next step lower?
fair.
Fair?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the distinction between fair and
If I could, the next step would be average minus.
average minus?
For quality or for
Oh, I'm
condition?
sorry, for condition, yes, for quality it would be an average minus,
Average minus?
yes.
You can ha-
Ms. Hurd, just to elaborate a little bit, when, in our CAMA system, we do make, within classes, we do make square foot adjustments for the exterior siding. So I could have an average quality, a good quality with brick, or I could have that same quality with frame, and there will be deductions or additions made depending on the siding, the roofing, that sort of thing.
Phil, what would be, just ballpark percentage, what would be the percentage decrease from average to average minus?
I'd have to get my CAMA book, my schedule of values that I neglected to bring.
Well,
it
don't
down.
go through all of it.
It's like 10%.
10%, okay,
I mean, it's gonna be a few percent.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Only question I had, just looking at her comps.
Sure.
And we don't have all the information, I don't think we do. That one is 2617
Mhm.
Fortune Road.
Yes, sir.
What's the assessed value on that property? Are you able to?
Yeah, 169.4. It's a 982 square foot home with a detached garage.
Okay, because that's what you mentioned.
Correct.
And I'm seeing her measurements, or what's in here is 2,041 square feet.
Right, that, we had, in 2020, we had the houses on the wrong parcels in our CAMA system, and we adjusted that. So there was a 2,041 square foot home in our CAMA system on that parcel, and so we flipped that last year and discovered it. Yes, sir.
I don't have any other questions.
Mike, you got anything? I had something, lay on it, Donnie. I got nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I had something there, I thought. Hang on a minute, Belma.
Okay.
Let me do some math here. While I'm remembering.
I think it might be fuzzy from space.
All right, Belma, I'm good.
Okay. Tab number 4 is a no-show, parcel ID number 09143018A. Tab number 5 has been rescheduled. Here, tab number 6 is parcel ID number 07141164, it's a withdrawal. Tab number 7 is a accepted staff recommendation, parcel ID number 09276146. Tab number 8 is a no-show, parcel ID number 09321428. And that should be all of the ones
Okay.
right now present. So we can start deliberating.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Hearing number 1, parcel ID number 09307039.
I still just didn't have anything I could hang my hat on. I mean, the numbers are close.
Then, yeah.
They're very close. And looking through here, and I don't know the background on the property. I mean, there's another one in here very similar to hers or theirs, 2202. I mean, the county's been out, looked at all the properties. So, I'm good with the number.
Make a recommendation.
Yeah.
Got a recommendation to leave the tax evaluation as is, or tax appraised value. Is here a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All like sign no. Thank you.
Moving on to tab number 3, parcel ID number. Oh, sorry. Tab number 2, parcel ID number 06063175. That they accepted the staff recommendation, so they didn't come today.
That's your hearing number 2.
Yeah, you just need to vote.
So do I hear a recommendation that we, or a motion that we leave the value as it is on hearing number 2?
So moved.
Dutch made a motion, Ray second. All in favor? Aye. Like sign. Thank you.
Hearing number 3, parcel ID number 02061018.
I'm a believer that this property needs a little bit of a haircut. Bill mentioned 10%. I'm more inclined to do 15%, and recommending or suggesting. If you do a 15% haircut off what the county values it at, that's a value of $185,810. That I am suggesting or recommending that the new value be, based on just looking at the picture of the house. The fact that it's one bath, the fact that it's got a little age to it, and the property, other than it's 7 acres, but they don't mow it, they don't farm it. It's just hold the world together.
I'm kind of where Ray was going to, maybe on a grade.
Yeah, what was the figure you had?
So I think Phil mentioned the average of mine was 10%, I'm giving a 15% haircut, so, which is 185,810.
It's close to what I would have.
Okay.
I'd go along with that.
You making that a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, like sign no. All right, thank you.
Tab number 4 is a no-show, 09143018A.
Okay,
You need to vote on the no-show.
do I hear a motion that we leave the tax evaluate or tax appraised assessment as is?
So moved.
Ray made a motion.
Second.
Second by Mike, all in favor say aye. Aye, like sign no. Thank you.
No, nothing. Hearing number 7, parcel ID number 09276146. They accepted the staff recommendation, so you need to vote on
Need a
that.
vote? Okay.
Mhm.
Hear a motion, we accept the staff recommendation.
So moved.
Got a motion by Dutch,
Second.
second by Ray, all in favor? Aye. Like sign no, thank you.
Number 8 is a no-show. Go ahead and do that one. Okay. Hearing number 8, parcel ID number 09322142.
Okay, we hear a motion that we accepted the county's value.
I'll make a motion of no change in value.
Okay, got a motion by Dutch,
Second.
second by Mike, all in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign no, thank you.
Okay. Now we go to the staff recommendations, and that would be for tabs number 9 through 23.
We're just gonna do them all at one time?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good with that? Okay,
Yeah.
fine. All right, so do I hear a motion that we accept the staff recommendations on the remaining hearings?
I make a motion we accept the staff recommendations on tabs 9 through 23 as presented.
Thank you, Dutch. I hear a second.
Second.
Second by Mike. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign no. Okay, thank you.
Now we have the informal staff recommendations.
Yep.
And this is the work we've done at the informal level, that the appellant still has the right to come before you gentlemen to be heard if they do not agree.
Do I hear a motion that we accept the informal staff recommendations?
Slew of them. So moved.
Got a motion by Ray, second by Dutch. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign no. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of things. Number one, the issue with the floodplain on Raccoon Run, we'll have staff take a look at that, make sure that influence is removed from those properties and figure out why it's there. It seems to be maybe it could be a conversion error from when we change software systems. So we'll take a look at that.
Okay.
There's a neighborhood by the name of Rainforest. It's actually a full subdivision, right? Okay. We had 6 appeals in that neighborhood. All of those have been reviewed. And in that review process, it was discovered that the land tables for valuation in that neighborhood were set up incorrectly. In that neighborhood, what we have is a constant value for a lot and then a per acre rate. In the database and tables for that, the numbers were reversed. So the constant was put on the per acre rate, and the value per acre was put on the constant rate. So it inflated the land values in that neighborhood. That has been adjusted. We need the board to bless that and approve that change. Everything has been corrected. The land values on every lot in the neighborhood at that point went down. And the 6 appeals actually ended up lower than what they were wanting for their value based on that land change. So it was just a correction from a table set up in the programming that was fixed. But we just need the board to approve that because we can't dot the i's and cross the t's on it until we have a vote from the board.
Okay.
And just to put a detail on that, it should have been $50,000 a site and $6,000 an acre. Instead, it got put on as $6,000 a site and $50,000 an acre, and some of those lots are up to 12 acres in size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got it corrected and fixed. So we just need y'all to bless
Thank
it.
you. Do I hear a motion that we accept the recalculation of the county's values?
The neighborhood is Rainforest.
Got a motion by Dutch, second by Mike. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Like sign no. Thank you.
And the other question we have is for the week of July 4th. We want to make sure we're going to have a quorum or not, so we decide whether to schedule meetings for that week. So of you 4, I'm not sure what Mr. Ashcraft's status is going to be at that point. I think he may be back. I believe he was going in today for what he's having done. Not 100% certain, but I think that's the case.
I may be gone, and I don't want you to schedule that I'm here. I'd rather you schedule I'm not here that week. So I may be back later in the week, but I just don't know.
Okay, so what we'll do is not schedule anything for that week.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going to be gone Monday well, Monday's the holiday. I'll be gone Tuesday and Wednesday. So the best time would be Thursday night, so we just punt to the next week. And I think from a field standpoint, from an appraisal standpoint, we are about 600 away from finishing all informals.
Yes, we're less than 300 that we have not reviewed at all, and we have about 300 that still require a field
Okay.
visit.
So we're getting close to the end on the informals.
Okay.
So we ended up with 4,400 total, which is only 4.2% of the parcels in the county. So we're happy with that result.
Now, do we meet Monday?
Belmar, we're meeting Monday.
I knew it was on the calendar to meet, I think, but the last thing I heard, the agenda was light, but I didn't know.
I can't top of my head, I can't remember right now.
Huh? About what? No.
All right, do I hear a motion? We adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Ray made a motion,
Second.
second by Dutch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
But we had two properties.
We were here for two properties.
Beg your pardon?
We were here for two properties, and we only voted on one.
There wasn't any appeal information on the second.
Yes, it was in the documentation. Even Alan said that it was, when he called us yesterday.
It was not appealed previously. It was not timely.
Because we just closed on it 3 weeks ago, so I included that when I sent the documentation. I said, we just closed, and we would like to include that, and Alan said that that would be included today.
The way I understand it, though, it's as of January 1st of this year. So, the date, did you own it? When did you own it?
We just purchased it.
Well, that would be next year then.
Yeah, because it's past the adjournment date.
Yeah.
It's past the change of assessment.
This is as of 1/1/21.
Right, but when I sent the documentation for this, the property that we came originally for, I included the other property, and they said that they would look at both of them.
So the way I understand it, all right, so you bought it, when did you buy the property?
Closed in May.
Beg your pardon?
We
May.
closed in May.
In May, okay. So at the closing, the seller should have paid the taxes for this year. They should have given you that in the closing statement for the 4 or 4.5 months. And then you're responsible for the taxes for the remaining part of the year, this year. Okay,